Welcome to Your Vote, the St. Joseph News Press Now's coverage of the upcoming municipal election. I'm local government reporter Quinn Ritzdorf, and we are continuing our Q&A series with the at-large candidates. And with us, Ken Reeder. Ken, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Mr. Ritzdorf.
We'll jump right in. I-229, everyone's talking about it. Council doesn't have the final say, but you guys will get to have input. What do you want to be done with I-229?
I-229 just needs to be refurbished and made good for another 40 to 50 years. It was built that way for a lot of reasons. And then also, we don't want to even consider losing the interstate designation no matter what they do. I know there's other proposals out there now to get it done. So just that for safety, if nothing else, and that's always usually the number one reason for any transportation system is to make sure it's safe and that it does what it's intended to do, which that means let's keep it like it is, go forward now and stop talking about it.
Drug overdose deaths have more than doubled in just the last 2 years. What steps would you take to decrease those overdose deaths going forward?
I would, as a councilman in one vote, I would sure weigh into it on certain things that we thought we should have an opinion about. But something like that it's an epidemic, something we're going to deal with. But as far as that would go, we have a lot of professionals in place that are handling these type of things already. So I would always defer to the experts in that field. And then if it becomes something the city could help out with in some way, with funding, and I believe there's a lot of funding and tax dollars that goes to those type of places already, then maybe something needs to be adjusted. I think in most instances, you want to look at them very seriously.
With the last count, there's about 120 homeless people that live here in St. Joe. What would you do to address the homeless population?
I just think this is a greater societal problem. A town our size, I don't think we're really out of character in those numbers. Again, as one vote for the city council, I am always going to be for my number one constituent, and that's the taxpayer. So again, how the city's involved, I'm more concerned about what money we're spending on programs like that we already do, but in the future, and develop the ones that work. And mainly, I want to watch how we're spending our money, because that really ultimately is how you get something done one way or the other. Yeah. Cooperation and partnerships, especially in that field.
If you drive around St. Joe, it seems like there's blighted and vacant properties anywhere you look. How would you go about addressing kind of the blight in town?
They talk about that. It's just a campaign slogan. That's always about part of what these candidates are going to do, what they're going to do. I'm not about that kind of stuff. I'm only about what I'm going to do for you and the taxpayer. But the blighted area right now, we've had all this free money dropped on us in the last year. I mean, we've had 3 major tax hikes in this town in the last 4 years. Pandemic or none, we've got a lot of free money, so to speak. It came from somewhere. And so that would be one of my key issues right off the bat. We can do a lot more. A lot of times trashy things happen because the people cannot afford to fix them up, or even simply having stuff paid to have hauled away. So $19 million or whatever is a lot of money. By gosh, I would think with a 2 or 3 rollout program that we should be able to go around by neighborhood and city, by parts of the city, and have bring everything to the pile. And do that on a regular basis, get people used to that mentality. It's going to happen. A lot of people simply don't have the money to pay to have $3 or $4 for a tire hauled away. What a better thing to do with that kind of money?
This is a really unique question for you because you're on the school board. But how can the city enhance its relationship with the school district?
Well, we have a great opportunity there, and that's by electing me to the council. I think we're turning the corner with a lot of help with the new folks I got elected with over there. we're seeing right now, we're in a big change right now, and everything is good is all I can report from here on. And it's because of those other young people that got elected with me. But we want to work with everybody, of course. It's the most important thing. Now, I think the school district's blamed for a lot of failures of a lot of other organizations in this town. But let's go ahead and get past that too, even though that stymied us for 30-some years by having the same power structure in place and not having new voices, new people come to town or new people step up and fill these positions, all these unelected positions that control tens of millions of dollars over the years.
Violent crimes increased last year, and there's already been a number of murders and shootings this year. What steps would you take to address crime and make residents feel safer in town?
Again, not a unique problem for us. Salaries always become the number one issue, almost in everything nowadays, with this out of control inflation. Again, it's one of those things that's not just unique to us. And I think being involved, follow the other programs or things that happen around us in the whole nation, as a matter of fact, that have been successful, and do things like that. I mean, there's all types of things. One thing for sure, you don't defund, you increase funding. And you increase funding in all ways, and that is maybe new areas of the idea I really like lately of attaching a social worker type person in the ranks, so to speak, as that backup person. And, you know, we're going to pay for that, but so what? That's a salary of money well spent that has a ripple down effect in a lot of things, even the drug problem in this town. If we have more people out there on that, you know, addressing that situation.
You kind of mentioned it, the salaries. You know, in the police department isn't the only department within the city that's struggling with staff. You have the health department, landfill, streets. How would you address the city's current staffing shortage throughout all the departments, but including the police department?
Well, I guess one of the best things or easiest things to do is maybe salaries do it, but maybe it's a benefit thing nowadays. You add some type of benefit that's really kind of like ask the employees we have, what would make you look to come to work here? What will recommend your family or friends to come and work here because you get this, this, and this. And in some of these cases, you have to be unique. Besides, I still think you have to be in the top salary range, so that doesn't become an argument point any longer. But also there's these creative things we might be able to do incentive-wise. And for you want to go at that to not only entice them on the front end, but you want to make it so that we get longevity out of them as well. And that means enticing on the 5-year, the 10-year anniversary, things like that.
In what way can you as a city council member increase pride in St. Joseph residents?
I would just ask somebody to come and join the ranks where I've been working for the last 15 years. And that is just kind of an unsuccessful company monetary wise, but has introduced me to a lot of things. And it's kind of one of the reasons I've got here. But as way before you got to this venue, I've worked in the city council and have a better attendance record for the last 15 years than all the sitting city councilmen, even the ones today we have are cycling out. And I found out over the years you have to be there. And now people realize my company has always been that if you're in this town and you can pick the most benign type of issue, like let's use the dog park, which I do often, and you can sell insurance or carpet or cars, and if it comes out in the paper or gets out that you're for the dog park, then the next person, if you're an insurance guy, they're going to be in the morning, you're for that dog park, we've bought insurance from you, all of my family, we're never buying from you, then click. Then you pick up the next phone call and somebody said, hey, we understand you sell insurance and we're looking for a new agent. We see you're for the dog park. We're going to move. So that's where about 10 years ago, really, people know I'll put the flak jacket on. I'll come up with a plan for my clients. And we run the ball and find out. A lot of times, my best clients enjoy me the most when they never even know I was there. But because I've worked in this venue for so long and at the school board for so long, I can connect the dots. I think most people in your organization would have backed me up over the years. I mean, let's go back to Joe Blumberg days. And there was a notorious reporter you guys used to have here, so it goes back quite a while that Joe's been here.
You mentioned the $19 million of American Rescue Plan Act funds. What would be the first thing you would want to spend that money on?
Two things, as I just mentioned, totally for our cleanup, our total community appearance on a long-term, at least a 3-year type of basis. And actually, I would like to split it half and half, and the other half is going to go towards something with the sewer department. The sewer department is not the problem at all. The employees that work there have a tremendous job. Dangerous in a lot of ways and things like that, but very important, the most important thing. But what we did is vote ourselves into $400 million worth of debt several years ago, and they've spent it in really horrible, horrible ways. And I was unclear on this with another speech we gave about, but we have a little bit over half as many people that work at the sewer plant, which I want them paid the most. Don't have a problem with that, but we have half as many at the sewer department as we have policemen. So, and with the policeman issue and the priorities, I don't want the pay compromised, but there's something going on there, and I think it's because you look at the new vehicles just around the plant and the tens of millions of dollars that's being spent since we voted to put ourselves in debt for $400 million. I think it went up from that a couple times. We've got a little bit better interest rate, so to speak. But the sewer bills are killing the individual person in this town. So to answer your question, clean up the town with half that CARES money. The other half is somehow put it on every single individual family and household's sewer. If it means putting that and let it set and generate money, and then we reduce by $20 a month for the next 5 years, whatever it takes for that 19 million or 9 million or 10 million to run out. That's how it helps everybody. That's how it makes sense to spell this money. Not on these things that I've advocated for and already thrown away a lot of the 19 million they've already spent. You know, and this group going out here at the city council have raised their taxes 3 times, and they've spent all the money they've got and going to get, plus they're already $4 million into the next council's money, which I always say to the voters, if you want change, you have to vote change. I'll prove that I'll stand up against whatever your rank is in this community or how much money you have. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're spending my tax dollars, it's my responsibility to call it up. That's been my business. A lot of other people's, they feel it's their right. It is their right to question about who spends my tax dollars. But the thing of it is, it's my responsibility more because people raising family doing other things. It's been my company that, again, that's always been the thing. I'm for the taxpayer. And this whole thing is about voting this on there to spend your money. And let's stop talking about all the things I'm going to do or all that everybody's going to do. And what we've been doing now for at least the last 8 years, 6 years or so. And if you want change, you have to vote change.
Just my last question here. The city's population declined by 5,000 in the last 10 years. What's your strategy to grow back that population?
Well, I think it's going to probably be 10 years before we can turn around, unless something, some type of something in the next 5 years comes out of blue. Yeah. Some type of company comes here for some reason, or in fact, the way we're already turning the corner now, and we've got longevity built into this and continuity over at the school, we can do it at the city council too as well. A lot of these new people that are running are business savvy. They've spent and they've put skin in the game. They're like me. I'm from here. I did escape for 8 or 9 years when I worked for Bank of America, but I came back. I'm okay with what we've done in St. Joe and all the crazy things we've done, if that's what we're good at, and it doesn't kind of make sense. That makes us good because we're contrarian. We're not average here, that's for sure.
Well, Ken, that's all the questions I had. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Anything we missed that you want to say?
I'll just run through there. First of all, I-229, keep it primarily for the safety issue. And that's what all the 90% of the people in this town want to do, at least 95% want to do. The sewer issue, we've got to do something down there. We've spent ourselves already in the debt. We voted ourselves in the debt. And let's slow down. You drive by the sewer plant down there, and they built this building. It looks like it's a fabulous entrance to a big arena. over by the dog pound, over by the animal shelter. And I've counted as many as 30 brand new vehicles around that building every day I drive by there. Again, not the problem with the workers and stuff. They deserve that equipment and stuff, but it's even bigger than that. It's the crazy thing we did up with Black Snake Creek and the hundreds of millions of dollars we missed out on opportunities to really, really make our town great.